Right, you're probably getting a little bit bored by now of watching me wander around all these places that I know absolutely fuck all about, have no information on local culture or customs. Well, I've got something new for you then. In that case, if that is the case, I am in London town. Oh yes, you are my manor now, darling. Roll out the barrel, dust off your tit for tat, get down the battle cruiser or the rubber dub dub and have a good old cockney knees up. And I was at Violet's funeral. Now, I'm not actually from London, I'm from just outside London, a wonderful little place called Hertfordshire. It's just to the north, it borders on London. You get in and out, you know, in 10 or 20 minutes, depending on your mode of transport. But I've been coming here all my life, and you know, it's always somewhere that I've really enjoyed coming, you know, and it really, it's really something special about this city that you can't say about so many other cities, you know. I mean, obviously behind me there, we've got one of the major attractions, that is Tower Bridge, and right next to it there is the Tower of London. If you just walk along the side of the river, you're going to see landmark after landmark. It's ideal for tourists, really, which is why there's so fucking many of the cunts everywhere. It's honestly one of the best cities in the world to visit, I think. You know, I've been to a lot of cities, as you know, you've seen me in a few of them, and this is one of the best, and I've always thought it's one of the best, and I maintain that it's one of the best. I mean, I don't particularly like living here because I haven't got enough money to really make the most of it, because it is expensive. It's very expensive. And although there is a lot of consumer choice in this country compared to other countries, so you can find a reasonable deal on things like food, things like clothing. That's not too bad. But accommodation, transport, there's no discounts on that shit over here, unfortunately. If, for example, you are a fan of the War Machine, you might like to come and see something like this, the HMS Belfast, which has been stationed here for quite some time now. Named in homage to one of the last remaining colonies. Yeah, you know, the glorification of war is quite popular in this country, especially as we've just passed the centenary for the First World War, which is now rebranded as the Great War. And obviously, you know, we've got to make efforts to remind everybody that war is a necessary thing in society, which obviously it isn't. So if you're into that sort of thing, you might want to come down here and check out the HMS Belfast, or even from a kind of mechanical engineering point of view, I'm sure that is also a very interesting thing to look at. And that's Tower Bridge from London Bridge, which I'm now standing on. You see the Shard up there, that I believe is the tallest building in Western Europe. And London Bridge, well, it's just a bridge, but it's, in name at least, probably the most famous one in the world. Continuity nightmare, what has happened to my clothes, beard and hair? Alas. This is the monument. I've just come off London Bridge that way. This is the monument. That's a monument to the Great Fire of London. Alright, it started around here, I guess. I think it's called Pudding Lane, I think. Not sure about that. Must be this lane here. Don't know. Don't hold me to that either. You don't expect much from me by now, I know. But yeah, anyway, the monument. Let's see when that happened. 1666, the Great Fire of London, wiped out half the city, I believe, which is a bit naughty, but there you go, that is the nature of fire. Yeah, just showing you this to illustrate how close things are in London. We've just had the Tower Bridge, the London Bridge, and a few more 100 metres up here, or kilometre, 2 kilometres, something like that, we're going to have St Paul's Cathedral. Well, we're just approaching St Paul's. You see that dome in the distance there. I'll just show you around this Cannon Street area. Gives a nice little example of the kind of juxtaposition of the old and the new. that you see all over London, or the old and the old. So like I say, for me, I've been walking around this city on and off for 30 years, and I just won't get tired of just walking around and checking it out, you know. Right, en route to St Paul's, I have stumbled across this church, which is a lot smaller, far less grandiose, but actually very important in its own way. And I'll just show you a little look inside. Quite nice, not a bad little church as they go. But the start of the show, the important thing about this place is up there. Now this is Bow Church, and within the church you will find the Bow Bells. Now if you've never heard of the Bow Bells, you will know something related to them, shall we say. You've probably heard this expression, cockney. He's from London, he's a cockney, speaks cockney rhyme and slang, a bit of a wide boy, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people might say that about myself. Not actually true. I mean, first of all, as I said, I wasn't even born in London, and most people born in London are not cockneys unless you were born specifically in this area around here. This is EC5, and the saying goes that if you're born within the sound of the Bow Bells, that is what makes you a true cockney. So if you really like bin up those apples and pears and rung that bell, then you are pretty fucking bona fide cockney. You know, none of this Jamie Oliver, Damon Albarn palaver. If you've been up there and you've rung that bell, or indeed you were born and you could hear someone ringing that bell, then that makes you a true cockney. What about this geezer over here? He looks like a true cockney. Flower seller outside Bow Church. Got to be a true cockney, isn't he? Excuse me, sir, are you a true cockney?